But playing guys for these set amount of minutes, to me, makes it very difficult on Rick Carlisle.
Well, we're very similar. It's old school. Coach goes up to the player and says, can you go or can you not go? And then the decision is made from there. Not 20 minutes. He's either play full speed or sit out and we'll try to get it done.
To be fair, sometimes it's the team doctors who will say, limit the minutes.
Yeah, I don't trust those guys either sometimes. No, because, hey, they've got one thing on their mind. They don't want guys to get hurt, right? So I've never believed in the team doctor approach because the team doctor reports to the team, not to the individual.
Do you trust your own physician?
Jim Muntz is one of a kind. Yes, I do trust him.
Meanwhile, Dallas has been terrific at home. It's on the road that they've had so many problems. They're 27-9 here, and that includes an 0-4 start. They lost their first 4 home games of the season. Since then, they've been terrific in front of their fans. As Richardson down low gets the double team. But with both of these teams, as we said at the top, you just don't know what you're going to get. As Nash gets it to O'Neal, it's short. And it's not just game to game, as Howard tracks it down. It's been quarter to quarter, half to half. Howard hits it. And, Mark, that's been disappointing for both head coaches to see the inconsistency at such important time of the year.
And that's the reason why these two teams are fighting for their playoff lives, because of the inconsistent play. Not just from day to day, but from possession to possession, and also, more importantly, on the defensive end.
Well, if you talk to many with Dallas, they'll say the main reason for the inconsistency is kid misses has been the injury problem, mainly Josh Howard. But it's more than that. Would you agree, Jeff?
Well, I think injuries are a huge factor. Certainly, Nash, very good move to the rim. But like you said, Mike, when you come out and you lose to Memphis on the road and don't play well and allow them to shoot over 50%, it's a mentality as much as it is an injury.
That was Friday night in Memphis. Dallas losing as Howard comes out hot.
I'm trying to figure it out. So the guy's taking 3 shots and you limit him to 20 minutes, something just doesn't match.
O'Neal puts it in. You know, the other day they were talking, as Lisa mentioned, there was a certain amount, but he went beyond that. It really is up to the players to say, hey, I'm feeling pretty good. I can play as much as you need me to.
Well, he's one of the great starters in the game. His first quarters are off the chart, statistically.
He usually is amongst the NBA leaders, and sometimes has been at the top of most double-digit first quarters. And he's given them a lift to start here. O'Neal gets hacked. And Shaq will take some free throws. The thing about Howard is he's such a good player at both ends of the floor when he's at his best. He's been up and down. And obviously the injury is a part of it. A former All-Star. O'Neal to the line. Shaq shooting at 61% from the line this season. Close to a career high for him. Rick Carlisle, nobody wants Howard in the lineup more than, well, no more than Howard, but Carlisle as well.
You could just see the bounce in the body of Steve Nash. He has his foot on the gas pedal, and he's looking to be a scorer early on in this ballgame.
Well, Friday night against Sacramento, Phoenix threw up 139 points on the board. They're the #1 scoring team in the NBA, the best shooting team in the NBA, as Nowitzki long on that one. Nash said it's going to be a fun afternoon because it's nice to play in such a big game. Well, they've had a lot of big games as Richardson fires away.
Yeah, what is this with a big game? Josh Howard saying he didn't play the other night because it's not a big game. This is a big game. That's why I'm playing. Every game has the same value, as Josh Howard must be wanting to reconsider, and Grant Hill scores. But I'm serious. Every game's a big game in this league. And that's the problem. The whole mentality that certain games are big, other games aren't, I totally disagree with.
Well, that's sometimes the difference in that mindset is the difference between one of the good teams and one of the also-rans.
Not only that, the difference between being 3 games back and being comfortably put into the playoffs, because you don't consider those games against Memphis or Minnesota important ball games.
Or Sacramento, you know, Phoenix lost to Sacramento, at Sacramento, giving up 100.
Weeks in Dallas, you'll see stretches. Well, wow, they're playing some pretty good defense, but it's just not there all game long.
Well, both teams have taken a step backwards this year defensively, subtly. Some in three-point defense, some in two-point defense.
J.J. Barea, a nice high arcing banker. The two teams exchanging buckets early.
Do you realize what you just said? The Phoenix Suns took a step back defensively. That's saying a lot.
That's hard to do.
Grant Hill's jump shot is good. Now last year, the Suns, they were 13th in the NBA in opponents' field goal percentage. That's right around the middle of the pack. They weren't horrible.
No, you look at it, and their three-point field goal defense was pretty good last year. And one of the big differences in the season is they used to shoot a lot more threes and give up a lot fewer threes. This year, they're on the negative side of that three-point game most nights.
Both teams pushing. We could have a lot of points here this afternoon as Barea lost it momentarily. Nice recovery. J.J. Barea's had a nice season for the Dallas Mavericks. Getting a lot of playing time, and a foul on the entry pass will go against Dampier.
See, I have a problem, and I'm trying to stay controlled when I say this. But if you let J.J. Barea walk into two layups, ask yourself, how much do we really care about making a push and a hard push?
Well, you saw the Gentry there. His team has struggled on the road. Their last 10 road games, they're giving up an average of over 120 points per game.
Excuse me? What was that?
Their last 10 road games, they were giving up 120 points per game.
Wow.
Barnes. Richardson. Inside, flips up, wild shot. Won't go. And he'll go to the free throw line. Dampier's already sitting down with 2 fouls, so Ryan Hollins has checked in. Richardson getting fortunately bailed out.
I think if you're either one of these teams, the mentality defensively, first and foremost, has to be getting back in transition. Getting back 5 guys, loading to the basketball, and stopping dribble penetration. That would show a commitment to trying to win this game.
Richardson, of course, obtained in the trade early this season from Charlotte. A lot of guys played early with the Bobcats on these teams. Richardson, Jared Dudley, Ryan Hollins, and Matt Carroll with Dallas. Game featuring former Bobcats.
Maybe that's why they're struggling to get in the playoffs.
Oh, that's a cheap shot.
That's not a cheap shot. They've never made the playoffs.
Kid back out to Nowitzki. Still have an outside shot this year as Nowitzki knocks down the shot. Nowitzki, with his latest scoring surge, is up to 5th in the NBA in scoring, as Nash able to dump it in. Now this pace, obviously Phoenix loves this pace. Jason Kidd doesn't mind playing it, but does it favor either team, Mark?
Well, to me, it favors the Phoenix Suns because that's the style they want to play at. They are a team that pushes the basketball. They try to get quick offense. If you're the Dallas Mavericks, you have to pick your spots, when to run with them and when to make them play defense.
Pretty post move for Nowitzki. Took his time as the shot clock was winding down. Jack inside against Hollins, banks it in, and a foul. And a chance for a three-point play for the big cactus. Ryan Hollins picks up his second already.
If you're fighting for the playoff spot, there's no nicknames here. These teams are fighting for the 8th seed. Please leave the nicknames alone, Mr. Brand.
None?
No nicknames.
I can't give one.
Only this guy has a new nickname. He watched the movie The Notorious. Came up with his own new nickname. Would you like to share it with the country?
I'm the Notorious JVG. That was a great movie, though. Great movie. You got it. Very good.
Well, former film star Shaquille O'Neal throws up an air ball on that free throw. But his team up by 2. We approach the midway point. First quarter, a critical game for the Phoenix Suns. They're off to a good start.
And part of the problem for me is, teams I play with in the past, we look at the schedule and say, okay, well, we should go, this should be our record against these 5 teams because we relied on the defensive end and we were consistent as Dirk knocks down that jump shot. With these 2 teams, when you look at the 5 remaining games or whatever they have left, you don't know. Because they don't rely on the defensive end, any game is winnable for their opponent.
They've had so many games recently, both of them, where you look at the schedule and you say, okay, that's a win, where they wind up losing. Shaq double team inside, throws it down.
That's a big time move from Shaq. Ryan Hollins has to fight physically, getting better post position, and then the double team has to come quicker. If you're going to double, you have to double to get the ball out of his hand.
Grant Hill knocks it down, and Hill with 10 points. He's 5 for 5 from the field. Again, if he could play the final games of this season for the first time in his career, he's going to play all 82. And a few years ago, nobody thought that would have been possible.
Really